Is anyone out there from South Dakota? Okay, good. This joke will work. So, I went to Sioux Falls, and I checked into the hotel at Sioux Falls, and when I checked in, I got upgraded to a suite. Now, I'm not trying to brag. It was Sioux Falls, South Dakota on a Wednesday night. No one was using it, all right? And by it, I mean the city. It was dead. Anyways, I was so excited to have my own hotel suite, because you gotta remember, I mean, I'm Midwest cheap. I grew up 1 of 12 kids. I grew up sleeping in a 3-tiered bunk bed system. I had 2 people peeing on me every night. So to be able to sprawl out in my own bed and not worry about my brother in the other room pointing an airsoft gun through the crack of the door at my nipple, there's something so nice about that. But my excitement for having my own hotel suite went away as soon as I walked in the door. Because as soon as I walked in, there were these 2 TVs playing the worst menu screen music you have ever heard in your life. It was like... It was awful. It sounded like it was composed by a 19-year-old named Chad with 2 Ds. It was so bad. And I was like, I gotta turn these TVs off. And I can't find the remote control. And the longer I'm going without being able to find the remote control, I can just slowly feel it happening. I can feel myself turning into my dad. And I knew the exact moment it happened because I stopped calling it a remote control and I started calling it a clicker. You bet your ass. As soon as I said the word clicker, my shoes turned into white New Balances, and I was running around. I was like, where in the hell is the clicker? What, did it grow legs and walk away? You know, if it was a snake, it would have bit me in the ass by now. And hey, who turned the heat up? If you're cold, put a sweater on. Hold the damn flashlight straight. Do you know how expensive kids are? You could have been a Maserati towing a bass boat. How'd I do, Dad? Did I do good on that one? All right. There we go. Perfect impression. Now look, here's what a sober person would have done in this moment. A sober person would have called the front desk. The front desk would have told them where the clicker is. It would have been done. But me, I just so happened to be a scotch unsober. And so what I did is I grabbed my phone and I asked the internet to help me find my remote control. And as I zoomed in on the TV, I could see right in front of me the whole time was my remote control, except it wasn't a physical remote control. It was a QR code on the TV screen, and that QR code I would use on my phone, and my phone would be, what was wrong with a remote control? Because here's the thing about posting a video image of a QR code. That is the remote control to your television set onto the World Wide Web. Somebody out there is going to purchase you a pornographic film. Because I was dead asleep and then all of a sudden I awoke to Debbie Does Dubuque right in my bedroom. I look over to my living room at that TV, and there's Debbie riding John Deere. At this point, I did call the front desk. I says, lady, I turned my TV into sexual touch tunes. You gotta help me.
All right, Denver, what an amazing city you got here. This is great. Do we have any skiers out there? Any skiers in the audience? Nice. Nice, it's like going to a brewery and saying, do we have any drinkers in the audience tonight? I remember my first time going skiing in Vail. I was in Vail. I was actually driving out west with my uncle, and we decided to stop in Vail. Okay, so we get up to the top of the mountain, and look, I don't mean to brag, but I was a pretty good skier, okay? I skied Sunburst. You know? In Wisconsin, we got a ton of skiing hills. A lot of them are, admittedly so, former dumps that they just snowed on top of, okay? Alright? But so we're on the top of Vail, and my uncle's like, yeah, I'm gonna go down this blue square. And I was like, not me. I'm going double black diamond. He was like, no, you're not. No, you're not. I was like, relax. I've been to Sunburst. I do the double black diamonds there. I got it, okay? So the first time I learned what a mogul is when I'm about 5 feet over one going ass over tea kettle down 3 different moguls. I was like, wow. Now here's a tip. When you go ass over tea kettle over a mogul, what you should not do is walk down the hill to get your first ski and then walk back up the hill to get your second ski. That's not what you want to do. That's not the correct order of operations. So I'm huffing and puffing because, I had not been taking care of my body at all. I was 22, you do the math, okay? My lungs were not liking me, and I was walking up this thing, and I finally got both skis, and I was sitting there like trying to punch this ski back on, and I couldn't get it, and then all of a sudden I hear, "You gotta put your toe in first, bro!" And I look up, and it's an 8-year-old girl. I'm just emasculated. I could not get it. There was snow in the thing or something. I picked up both skis. Do you know how hard it is to walk through like half a mile of moguls just like this in your ski boots? I had to get all the way over there. Finally, I could get one ski on. Mind you, everybody going down the hill is pissed at me, okay? And I finally do the thing where you just ski on one ski until you hit a tree, like Sonny Bono, but not that bad. And it's been enough time. And then I just rested on that pine and I just chunked the other one in, and then I was done. I was at the bar for the rest of the day.
So roll out the barrel and get the band brewing. Life's got you down, and just keep her moving.
How many of you have said, "Screwed the pooch"? Oh, I know there are more of you than that. It's one of the most common Midwest phrases. I screwed the pooch. Here's what I want to know. Who was the first guy to walk into a room and say, "I screwed the pooch"? Forget about that guy for a second. Who was his mom? Who was hosting a dinner party at the time, I'd assume. I had all her friends over there. Son comes in, "I screwed the pooch." Kids these days, they say the darndest things, don't they? The dab, and the wop, and screwed the pooch. It just means he made a mistake. That's all it means. Very innocent. He made a mistake. Todd, where the hell is Baxter? Anyways, I got a little off track. Let's go back to when I got fired from my job. So after I lost that job in Texas, I moved out to Los Angeles, and I decided to become a red carpet reporter. Now, I was a bad red carpet reporter, in all honesty, and it's really not my fault. I have this disease called facial agnosia. No, it's not funny. It's very serious. What it means is I have a hard time telling the difference between faces because I didn't do any research before the red carpet. But I tell you what I did notice on the red carpet. Everyone in Los Angeles gets plastic surgery. That's what I noticed. I was like, why does everyone in LA get plastic surgery, but in the Midwest, not so much? And then it hit me. It's the seasons. In LA, it's 75 and sunny every single day. And when it's summer every single day, you want to live forever. So you get the Botox and the fillers and the whatnots and your hoo-has and the calf jobs. Meanwhile, in the Midwest, we got the seasons, so we're not getting plastic surgery. No, we're saying, honestly, hon, I hope I'm dead before February. No, it's tough being a Midwest guy in LA. It was tough. I was always holding doors for people who didn't want them held for you. I held the elevator even. I was that guy, making it awkward. I'd pick up names people were dropping all the time, like, "There's your Tom Hanks, sir." By the way, my dad knows Tom, too. Tom the taxidermist over there in Ashwaubenon, he's a real good guy, I was walking down the street waving to everybody. They were like, I thought Jeffrey Dahmer died, you know? And okay, that cannot be what you laugh the hardest at in this special, please. Can we edit out the laughs for that joke? That would be nice.